Well, we have an interesting tropical update from the NHC. We actually have an area to watch for the Atlantic Basin. We've been telling you that it's very hostile for the Atlantic, and that still is the case. And really, with this storm, it does not pose a threat to anybody. But it is just something of note that, okay, tropics, we still always have to monitor them despite having some deeper wind shear and some Saharan dust. That's further south towards the ITCZ, not exactly in this mid to northern end of the Atlantic Basin. Over the next 2 and 7 days, only a 10% chance at becoming a tropical system as a whole, and they're really not expecting that. It just doesn't have enough time. The NHC, and I'm just reading a little bit of their discussion here, saying that it's going to encounter some strong upper level winds in the environment, and that would really shear out a storm, especially a baby storm like this one is trying to gather itself together. As far as the rest of the MDR, so further south, we have the Saharan dust. We typically see that this time of year. We have dust plumes that happen June, July, and then a secondary burst of dust in, let's say, October-ish timeframe, and that really puts the kibosh on tropical waves trying to develop across the MDR. We also have strong hostile winds. So notice here, where we typically really zone in for tropical development, very hostile. But where this development is, it's a bit further north, so it's sitting just in that perfect pocket. Let me see if I can highlight it for you. Right there. That's the area of development here. But then notice just a little bit to the north, out of the view of this graphic, you have the hostile winds. And so that's where it's heading and where it will encounter some less than favorable conditions. It's not just the hostile winds aloft, but also a bit closer to the surface. We do have some faster trade winds, and that's aiding in a level of wind shear in the environment, so winds changing with direction speed from the surface aloft, but it's also cooling off some of the water. So for the Atlantic and the Caribbean, we're actually running average, if not just slightly below average for certain spots. And so we could watch as that cooling trend really kind of takes hold, at least for the rest of June. Sea surface temperatures just specifically for the Caribbean, where we would monitor tropical development in June, July. Usually it's a bit more of these homegrown systems. We are just now slightly dipping in that below average zone. So yes, we have that area to watch. Does this mean anything's really changed in the forecast here for the Atlantic? No, not at all. So for you and I, Michael, we'll still be waiting a while for that first named storm, I think, when it comes to the Atlantic Basin. But we have a much better area to watch, much higher odds in the Eastern Pacific, where we are probably going to be seeing our F named storm in the next little bit.